is up, everybody? Week 4. We've already done 4 of these. Can y'all believe it? Tonight is going to be a fun one, though. Welcome to the Atomic Bear Show. My name is Matt, sitting next to Big Ben Baldwin. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Doing all right?
Yeah, back for another one.
That's it, man. And we're doing knives tonight. We're going to go over some survival knives. We got Big Jeff in the house with us again. What's going on, Shane? What up, Logan? Hope everybody is having a good week. I tell you what, though, January is flying by, man.
Yeah, it is.
But hopefully, if you are thinking about some survival knives, maybe we can help you out tonight. Let's bring old Jeff in and see what he's been up to. What you been up to, Jeff?
Hey, Matt. Glad to see you.
Yeah,
been
man.
a long time, a full week.
Dude.
Hey, I just want to tell you something, man. I ordered this book, and it came right to my house. It's called Survival Axe. That's a good read. Yeah, it's been a busy week, as usual. So many things to do with the Atomic Bear. We have so many things to do, so many things coming up. But this Thursday night is the night. I love it. I'm so glad to be able to talk to you guys, to just have all this energy coming through the internet, through the camera to all of us. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, and this thing just keeps growing. You know, if you look from our first episode to our third one, even though we've only done 3, but boom, 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 it just keeps climbing. So thanks, everybody. What's up, Alvaro, Big Bobby Timmy, old Richard's back in the house. And because I like that poor K because thing. But, Jeff, so the survival book that you have, do you get a lot of your tips from your books that you're reading? Or do you, how do you get your information mostly?
There's so much information available out there. Like, books is definitely a read. Like, if someone spend the time to write a book like this, it's often a lifetime of experience just written in these pages. So it's like some books are all right, but some books like this one, it's a book by Creek Stewart. Each page is like one hack, one trick, and there's 250 pages. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I thought about doing one day, which I probably never do, was making, the old bathroom reader. See, now everybody looks at their phone, but having one that's just like survival tips and stuff. But, man, we have a cool giveaway tonight that we're going to be doing as well. So make sure that you stick around until the end of the show because, thanks to Big Jeff, we're going to be giving away the Atomic Bear SWAT knife tonight. So, bam. Actually, let me go ahead and give you a close-up on it real quick. So, guys, right here, and I'll let Jeff kind of go over the details of it, but that right there is what we're going to be giving away if you can answer a trivia question that we got going on. And speaking of knives, man, let's dive into it, Jeff. We're going to try to go over some, I don't know, we didn't really have a good title for it, but maybe kind of what knives you might need to survive in certain situations or in a defensive situation. So we're just going to kind of banter back and forth. I'm going to pick his brain. And, man, let's dive into it, dude.
Yeah, right. Man, there's so much thing to say about knives. You guys have a show, Product Probes. And I've been a fan of the show in the past and even now, like I'm following you guys. And I'm glad that we have a chance to discuss it like on a camera and share this with the audience, with our fans. That's awesome. And you know what? Like before get into like too deep in discussing knife, one thing I want to establish is that a knife is just not like a regular tool. It's the tool that you need. Well, with a knife, you can survive in the forest. It's the base tool that you need. So maybe not when you go to work. Well, that's depending what you're doing for work. If you work in an office, maybe to open letters, boxes, but everywhere you go or no matter what you do, a knife is a must-have. So I think establishing this is easy, but I just want to put that up front. Like a knife is a lifesaver. It's a tool. It's everything.
Yeah, and I agree. Just by having your knife, and a lot of times people like to get the bells and whistles on certain knives, but I think focusing on just getting even no matter what your budget is, but just looking for the right things in a survival knife. There's a lot of cheaper knives, for people that don't want to spend a whole lot of money that are not bad. That's, you might have to keep resharpening. The blade retention on them might not be great. However, the one thing that I was looking at, and boom, I'll just start off with this. Why not? Is got two knives right here that are, cheaper knives. And you would look at them, and I don't know if you can see that in this camera, Jeff, but one of them's a little bit like this one right here is sharper, and it's longer, and it's got the saw back and the blood groove on it. But I would actually prefer this bottom knife. Now, do you know why?
Why?
If you're
Why is
looking at
that?
these, because this one right here is a full tang knife, meaning the full tang. So your actual steel is gonna run all the way through, to your handle. And this one right here, your blade's gonna stop right there. So if I'm splitting wood or doing anything like that, this has the ability or the chance to break. And of course, I don't want to sit here and do it. But I think, and also I like the rope on this one. But just a simple, blade like that. But you see the difference in the blades, no serration there. When it comes to, I guess, blade style, do you have a preference?
Well, there's so many features in a blade. Like I can just pull one blade here. I'll take. Where is this? I put it somewhere. I should be able to find it quick. Oh, the thing fell on it. We'll talk about this knife later, but this is a fixed blade knife. This you see you guys see the dropping of the blade here. It's a drop point knife. I like this knife because they're versatile. They allow to slice, to cut through. And the knife, the SWAT knife from our company is also a bit like that. It's a bit more straight. You can see the difference in the line. I don't know if the camera picks it up, maybe with the white background here.
Yeah,
but you see the difference. These are two drop point knives, blades, but they're very versatile, like slicing, cutting through. These are great. Now, some people will go with, sorry, I'm going to go back centered. Some people prefer a Tanto blade, or they will prefer clip point. And do you have any clip point with you? I don't have any clip point with me. It's not a blade I like, but that's just to show the difference.
Actually, I'm going to grab them because they're right there. So just keep talking about those knives for 5 seconds.
I'll keep talking. So one thing I want to say about and Matt is gone. I think we have a different opinion on that. I'll just take a chance to chat while he's not hearing me. So you see the little denting here, the serrations. I love them because the serrations allow you to cut through harder material. If you want to cut through a rope, or if you want to cut through a seat belt, these will be a lot faster, and you won't have to put as much pressure to cut open the material. So I love the serration right there. A thing to consider with I know Matt is going to come back with his knife, but one thing to consider when you talk about blade is the metal, right? Often the cost of the whole knife is decided by the quality of the material with which the blade is made, and we can discuss a bit more about that. But I think this is a key thing to discuss. And if you don't have $200 to put into a knife, maybe you want to lower down the quality of the material, and it will still be. This is going to still be a good knife. You might have to work a bit more with the material, with the blade. Might have to sharpen it more often. But I mean, there's so many different levels. And guess what? There's no perfect material. Even if you go to a knife that is like, I don't know if you've seen that, Matt, but even like high quality blades material, they will have super edge retention. The edge will stay sharp for long, but they will crack or chip much more easy. They're more friable, I think we say in English. I don't know if I'm using my French words here.
Fragile, yeah.
Fragile, but it's a bit more, a bit like glassy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like glass, but it's a bit more glassy. There's more chances that the edge, clip if it's too thin. Anyways, I was just saying while you were away, Matt, that I love serration on blades. I like the way serration work with hard material. I don't like blade with full serration, but just maybe half serration or a bit less than that. So you still have a very versatile knife. So what's your preference regarding blades, Matt?
Well, I guess, I'm going to be right the opposite, man. I like the straight blades. Now, I can get away with carrying a quarter serration type knife, but I'd like the straight blades, and I used to like the clip points, but I like the drop points a little bit better. And a lot of times,
why is that?
Well, if I'm hunting, so right here you got a clip point, which this clip point might be have a better clip to it to kind of show. So right here on this close-up camera, if you can see how this is it's clipped off and it has a sharper tip. So your point's going to be a lot sharper on your clip points. However, if you're deer hunting or if I'm trying to skin out a deer, you don't want to have too sharp of a tip right here to puncture any type of organs or, the stomach or things like that. The meat, you can ruin it a lot more with your clip points. However, that is going to be a sharper tip. And I noticed that you were talking earlier about the Tantos. I also have one of those to show. But
can you show the blade? Some people might not know what the shape of the Tanto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a special blade, right? It's not usual.
You're right. It's almost like a drop point blade from the down point. So let me give you a close up. So with your Tanto, and you can see I've been scraping probably stickers off of this thing, but you still have your drop here, but you have this uptick on the bottom half of your blade. So let me show you the difference in them. This is your standard drop point blade. You see how they both have that gradual slope? But if you look, this has that uptick right there on the blade. So this is your Tanto. I've never been crazy about the Tantos. I maybe in like a tactical stance, but for an EDC, I tell you what, anybody that's watching in the chats, what's your favorite style blade for your everyday carry? And also, what's your favorite style blade for survival? Or are they the same thing? I think mine's probably going to be the same. But you like that half serration in there. And then I'll go over this real quick, is that the reason behind the reason why I don't like, see, this is a super sharp knife, but they are super hard to sharp. See, with the straight, even if I had a stone, a whetstone, or just something, you can sharpen them so much easier and faster. But if you, let's just say that it's dull, you can switch over to that serration, to cut rope or something like that. But to sharpen them, you're going to need to get, the file in there and really sharpen them. But, man, a quarter serration, 3/4 straight, I think is the ideal. Personal preference,
I think the serration, I think you're right on the fact that the serration is a bit harder to sharpen. I can show you something, though, if I can find it. I had it a second ago. Oh, yeah, there we go. So this is like a little sharpening tool, right? It's, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
It has this rat tail diamond rod here, and then you have like the coarser, the beginning of the sharpening pins of the carbide side, and you have the ceramic to finish up, and then using just the rat here, you can just. It's a bit hard to do at this height in front of the camera, but you can work it out. But it's a bit harder because there's a shape to it, and then it's a bit more detail work. However, if you need to, as I was saying, if you need to cut a rope or some sort of hard material, it's great to start. Just start with the serration, and then you finish with your blade. And it just when you get used to it, and you have it like with the swamp knife here, there's a nice place where you can put your thumb, and then you get used to just cut through with the serration, and then finish it with your blade. I love that. The efficiency of the movement. Whoa, it goes through. So rope, even like if you're cutting a tarp, or if you're cutting, if you skin an animal, just start with this and you go with the blade. But if the blade is very sharp, I would say skinning an animal should not be an issue. But anyway, so there's a way to compensate for the challenge of sharpening the serration.
Yeah.
My opinion.
No, man, that's good. And having that little tool, I've got one floating around somewhere, but have not even thought to use it yet. But yeah, man, I don't know. I see Alvaro in here. He says that the sheep's foot, and I wish I had a sheep's foot to show y'all. It's he says best for EDC and survival because a nice tip and even edge. Yeah, I don't like the fact on the sheep's foot, and I won't stay on it long because I don't have one to really demonstrate, is that whenever you're trying to poke into something, it just has that little tip. Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll stick off a sheep's foot. But Mark says he likes the drop point. Looks like Dale likes the drop points. Blackwood's drop point. Yeah, a lot of people are going to the drop points on here. So, yeah, I mean that's my go-to is the drop point blade. Which
Well, we agree on that one, Matt. I think the drop, and a lot of people like it. On the serration side, though, it's a bit of a religion. Like people hate serration or people love it,
right?
but you normally don't have like in between. So I'd like to know what people think about it. Do they like a serrated blade or no serration? I bet you it's going to be about 50-50.
Yeah,
I guess.
I could see that. Let's see. What do y'all think, guys? What's your favorite? You going straight blade or do you like the serration? Y'all let us know in the comments. Now, I will say this, and a lot of times you'll see these knives, and of course, I got suckered into buying one, and it stays at the bottom of, wow, I haven't even pulled this thing out in forever. But this knife right here, it's got the little unscrewable thing at the end, and then, boom, it's got a compass.
Oh, Rambo.
Yeah, but it's, you keep like fishing line in here, your matches. Yeah. Well, this isn't a very good thing. It's practical if this is the only thing that you're going to be carrying with you. But if you lose your knife, you also lost your matches and your fishing line and everything else. And it's also not full tank. These hollow handles, so let's just say I go to use it and I'm trying to splinter wood, I'm hitting down, breaks my handle off. Now I got to carry this little piece and then my matches in here. So just for personal preference, or I don't know, this would just be my advice, is to maybe try to stay away from these knives with the hollow handles where you keep the stuff in. Your little cheap compasses that are, stay away from the cheap compass. Who cares? You're going to want to get a better knife and try to stick with full tang with survival in your fixed blades if you can help it. But figured I would throw
Matt,
that
you know what?
there.
In 1986, this is the first knife I received. It was a Rambo, was popular back then, a movie. And I had my first, I remember it looked like, it felt like it was a huge knife. Like I was so proud of it. And I couldn't believe my parents, I was 10 back then, around 10-ish. And I couldn't believe my parents would give me a knife like that. I was like, I loved it so much. But I do agree with you. It's more of a gadget than a real solid knife that you can rely on when you go for survival purposes or just for hunting or real life uses. I agree with that.
Yeah, and the length of your blade as well. Because a lot of times if your knife is too small and you're trying to chop wood with it, using a stick, you're gonna have a little bit more trouble than if you had a bigger type machete. So I would say anywhere from 6 to 12 inches. Anything over that, you're kind of getting into your Rambo style, your larger type knives.
Machete?
Yeah. But I tell you a way to go, if I still got it over here. I like carrying this, and I have it just on my bug out bag right here, but it's a Leatherman. Super sharp knife, but when it goes back to having like multi-tools in something, this is a multi-tool, but I don't know how much damage you can really do to it, but it has, your bottle opener, your can opener, your rulers, a pair of pliers, and the Leathermans are normally really sharp.
Yeah.
So, of course, it folds up, and it's got the little case you can put it on your hip. So, for all-around kind of go-to, this might be the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I love Leatherman. They have like very, very good multi-tools. They're a bit pricey, but you get something good for what you're paying. I love this brand. Yeah, I agree with you. With knives also, so you mentioned, cutting wood. So, what size would you agree is the right size if you are going camping? Let's say you're going camping and you rely on your tools to make wood. You're not carrying the woods with you. You're hiking and camping. You need to make a fire. And what size of knife would you carry with you for this specific need, right? I'm not saying like EDC, but really bushcraft type.
So I'm hiking and I've got things with me, but I'm just bringing one knife.
You may have a little axe with you, and you have one fixed blade knife somewhere. Like what type of knife? And you need it to like cut smaller piece of wood. Would you stick within the 6 inches?
I would probably go around 9. I would probably get around
9.
the 8 or 9 inch kind of fixed blade right there. One where it's not too big, the big ones where it's going to take up a lot of space, but it's not so small that if I needed to use it for other purposes. So I would probably, actually, let me show you this. That would probably be something around this size.
Oh yeah.
That right there.
Well, I do have a knife right here that very few people have. It's liquid diamond. I don't know if I talked to you about it. This is it uses G10 handle material here, so it's a synthetic glass, a nylon reinforced with glass, synthetic material. So it's very smooth, but still it's very grippy. But what's special about it's a full tang as well. What's special about this knife is that the blade is quote unquote the sharpest knife in the world. So they've made this material. It's a result from the research that NASA made to develop new material that would have some sort of a resistance to heat and different treatment. And some guys patent they license out the research from NASA and start making awesome blades. So they have a chef knife, and they made recently a Kickstarter campaign with this material right there. So it's actually one of my friends, John and Adams. They work together, and they actually had a great success on Kickstarter. And they sent me a sample to test it out and give as an expert in the field to give my testimonials and what I thought about the knife. And man, this is heavy. It's small. It's about I would say 4 inches blade. It's a small, but if I need to split open wood, I'm not worried to use it for that. It's still very slim, and it's very, very, very sharp. If you sharpen it, this blade is just sharp, and you don't need to sharpen often. The edge retention is awesome, and they claim it's the only material that has a high edge retention, and it is also not prone to break. It's not glassy at all, what I was talking about. So it's like a material that is different than anything else that people have seen before. At least this is their claim. I love this knife, and I like the weight and the size. It's not too big. It's not a machete, right? But if you're hunting or doing anything serious, this is a very, very good knife. And I like the fact, I don't know if you can see it, not many knives have that. They have made a little groove here. So if you do fine work, I love this design as well. I love it. I don't know. Do we have a video with about this, or is it, or maybe I can just tell people where to go if they? I don't think they sell it, or maybe they start over. It's a bit pricey. It's above $100. We're not selling it ourselves, but I'm a fan of this knife anyway. So.
Yeah, I don't know if we have do we have that video?
We have the Atomic Bear video, not that one.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have to play this. Yeah.
We can go to atomicbear.tv if you want to show them that. It'll be a link below us right here, and then click on show notes, and down at the bottom, it'll be right there. And it's actually a really cool
show
video.
notes this week. So the atomicbear.tv, and you scroll down, you'll see episode 4. There's tons of material that we put there. Charts about knives, what's best, what's not, type of materials for your handle. You prefer synthetic, metal, wood combination? What's the advantage of one versus the other? And it goes on and on. There's so much information there that we just assemble the type of material for the blade. A lot of things, videos, a lot of interesting things. So I think it's live right now. I'll add the replays of the show tonight, but I mean, it's live. There's a lot of material right there if you want to have a look. And there's a video about this knife. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. And man, that I saw that video, and he pulled off a piece of hair and he was cutting the hair on it. So guys, it's actually worth going and checking out that video. But yeah, something like that would be almost ideal to carry, especially if it's super sharp, like you were saying. You know, a lot of times the stainless steel blades, you know, they're going to be tough. They're not going to corrode as faster, or rust rather. But then you have your carbon steel, which is going to be a little bit sharper, but it might rust a little bit faster. So there's always those debates, you know, which is better in a survival type situation. You know, your blade designs, you know, man, we could go on for days about those. But even if I'm like hunting or something, I would carry just a small little knife like that. That's all I would do. Let me give you a close-up on it. If I'm hunting and let's just say I get stranded or something, maybe something just as simple as this, and I will just have it because it's lightweight. If I needed to skin a deer or something, it's sharp enough to where I can do it. Now, I would much prefer probably like a frame lock compared to this liner lock because they're a little bit stronger.
So can you explain the difference between the two, Matt, for people who would not know what it is?
Yeah, so basically, and I tell you what, I've got a frame lock right here, and I have a liner lock. So let me give you a close-up on it. So right here, to the people that won't know, as you can see, this locking mechanism is part of the frame. So what's holding this blade up, or locking the blade, is the actual frame of the knife itself. Do y'all see that? So once y'all open it, bam, you're going to see the actual frame lock in place on that knife. Now, what you got on these other knives is you're going to have a liner lock, which is a middle piece of metal that slides from the handle. So it's going to be a lot thinner piece of metal holding that blade in place. So a lot of times your frame locks are going to be a lot stronger when it comes to locking. And of course, you're going to want to go with a fixed blade. However, if you're really going to be beating this thing, you want to go with a frame lock, maybe even some type of lockback knife. But even with the lockbacks, they're prone, because if I'm hitting it, they're prone to go ahead and just snap on down. So maybe your stronger lock would be this frame lock right here. So if you're trying to go more geared towards that, if you think you're going to be hitting it, try to stick with your tougher frame locks and maybe avoid your lockbacks and your liner locks. If that makes sense. That makes sense the way I just explained that? Kind of on the fly right there. I hope that made sense. But I saw somebody earlier was saying that Gerber makes a multi-tool. It might be a little bit cheaper than, you know, the Leatherman, and even smaller little multi-tools like this. But anything that you have is going to be better than nothing. You know, they got these little cheap little knives. Oh, this is one more thing I was going to talk about. Is when on your sheath of your knife, you see how this sheath has Velcro? I've never been a big fan of that. I've never liked it because it can wear out if it gets wet. I always like the snaps. But I had this tied. This has the fire starter already in the sheath, the nylon sheath, and then you pull it out and use it. This is a cheap knife. I'm sure everybody on the planet has seen this either on eBay or something. This might have been one of the first knives I bought for my bug out bag, like back in the day. But that's a cheap one. However, I prefer the snaps right here with the button. And that way I think these are going to hold up a lot longer than just that cheap little Velcro right there. So even if you have a nice knife, but it doesn't go in the sheath and it falls out, it's not going to do you too much good because you don't want to put it anywhere else because it's going to cut everything up. So that might be something you want to look into as well. Kind of maybe not the deal breaker on it, of course, but and a lot of your nicer knives are probably more than likely going to either have this snap. But that might be something to look into, is maybe go ahead and go with that snap other than that Velcro. Boom. What's your thoughts on that, Joe?
Well, I kind of agree with you especially if you beat your knife, you want to have a fixed blade, all time fixed blade. That's what is gonna get you out of the woods. If there's an expression in French, I don't know if it exists in English, But anyway, that will get you going and get you through your journey or whatever you're doing. And carrying a knife is very useful. You need it to open a box, a letter. It's a bit extreme to open a letter, but I don't cut yourself with your like opening a letter. Just pull your knife out. I just like carrying a knife, and you never know. You might need a knife to defend yourself. But I have we can discuss this later. It's a different ball of wax. Defending yourself with a knife it's something, right? So, but it's a tool that you want to carry with you. It's like it's a good friend. Like it's your friend. Whatever you're doing, it's your friend. It's the extension of your arm. And actually, that's a bit what when we designed this SWAT knife, we tried to make it very versatile, not specific for one activity. And we also wanted to make sure that the price would meet all wallets.
Right.
It's not the cheapest, but we try to load it with all the features that are needed for a knife to be a great knife, while not being super expensive. You have knives. I have a friend who he loves knife, right? He bought himself a zero tolerance iron knife, but he loves his knife so much it cost him like $300. He put it in his drawer and leave it there. He doesn't want to use it because it's precious,
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great knife. I love it, but he's not going to use it. What's the point? Or he'll be afraid to beat it.
Right. Yeah, no, y'all did a really good job with this knife. Like he was saying, we did a review on it last year, I think, or sometime.
Yeah.
And this thing, like you said, whenever you try to add everything that you might need in survival, it's definitely thrown on here. The non-slip handle, you didn't cut corners trying to go with the, cheap little plastic on there.
Yeah.
But, there's actually a video on this SWAT knife. And Ben, can we go ahead and show that?
My knife isn't just a knife. It's a commanding, high-precision, lightweight EDC. A fast-opening folder with a cutting-edge stainless steel semi-serrated blade designed to cut through harder materials faster. The skeleton-style G10 glass-reinforced handle has curves in all the right places, giving me a safe and secure ergonomic feel, like it was custom-made to fit my grip. Clip it to my belt or drop it in my pocket. My knife is like a friend who's ready for anything. And when it's go time, it snaps open with the flick of my thumb and locks up for business. That means there's no spring assist. So my knife's legal in any state, and I never have to worry about it failing me. It's a tactical and practical solution that puts me in control. My knife isn't just a knife, it's what a knife should be, an extension of my hand that can bear almost anything. The Atomic Bear, that's my knife.
Boom. There you have it, guys. And that is the knife that we're going to be giving away tonight to somebody in the chat room. So, Jeff, go. Man, I don't know, dude. You're probably the pro when it comes to this knife since you did it. But what's your favorite thing about this knife right here?
Well, I think there's many favorite things about this knife. Like I mentioned the blade. I like the shape of the blade with the serration here. What I like as well is the way so I wanted to avoid the spring open or for 2 reasons. One is there's a lot more legislation around spring open, and it's like police, even if it's legal in your state, police will say this and they will think it's a automatic knife or it might put you into trouble. It raised a good quality spring open, raised the price of the item quite a bit. And to be honest, like I think that it's not needed. Like with the thumb stud, you can open it easily. If you want to flick it open, you just flick it open. So I mean, I don't see why you would need a spring open. And the second reason, actually, why we don't have it, is it's prone to break as well. Like the spring can break or can get used, especially if you're not in the very high-end knives. So we kept this knife. Standard opening with the thumb stud. The other thing I like about this knife is the handle. we put a lot of energy in getting the right design for the handle. First, it's a open frame. I think it looks so great. I mean, it's not a usual knife. You don't see a lot of open frame. It makes the handle a bit lighter. And we have this little arch, I don't know if you can see it. So now if I close the knife, I just want to show like it fits in the hand very nicely. It just adds some stability. And it's also thin. And if you have to use it for self-defense, you don't have to use the blade necessarily if you think it would be doing it. The other thing, I don't know if you see the shape on the top here. So it's perfect to actually hold the knife in your thumb, and then you can use this as a hammer or also as a self-defense, non-lethal weapon. What else? There's so many things I could say. The material, as you said, is not just cheap plastic. It's G10 material, the same material that you'll find in this $100 plus. Actually, I think this is $170 knife here. The same material was used to make this this handle here. What else?
Well,
I like this thumb. Yeah, go ahead.
No, man, I was just going to say the pocket clip on it. And if you watched any of, the knife reviews that we do over on Product Probes, is that I will always, try to test them out in the pocket. I like this high pocket clip because it's going to sit down in your pocket, give you a more concealed type look, and it doesn't have a whole lot of print. And then the other thing, which you've already mentioned, was that non-lethal defense right here. So in case I didn't want to use, lethal force, bam, I've got that rail. You hit somebody in the nose with that thing, they're going to get off of you pretty quick. And if they don't, then, of course, you've got your option. But those two things really stand out in this groove right here. And I don't know if anybody's touched on this, but check this out. You see this little groove right here? Let me find that sweet spot of the camera. Boom. It allows you to get down to that thumb stud a lot easier. You see a lot of knives where they won't have this little cutout, and it's so hard to get to that thumb stud. Well, having that little groove right there allows you to really get to it no problem at all. But those are, two things that I really like about it, because I don't know why, but if it has like a pocket clip and that knife is sticking that much out of my pocket, I won't carry it. So that was a really good thing I like.
Well, that's a good point. Do we have our trivia question ready?
Yeah, man. You ready? Y'all ready to get into it? All right. So hope everybody is still watching. And what we've got is another movie clip. And I hope people didn't just start going and looking at survival videos, because it's not survival related. However, it might be knife related. So guys, if you are in the chats, got Ben over here monitoring every platform that we're on. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the clip, and the first person in the chat room that can name this movie will go home with this Atomic Bear SWAT knife right here. So I'm ready. If y'all are ready, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's show them that clip.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I used to watch that movie all the time, Jeff. It's one of my favorite ones, and that is a popular scene in it. But we got something for some people that are in here that might not win tonight. Don't you have a combat class that kind of teaches people how to use this thing?
Yeah. I have a friend. His name is Helder Gomes. Mm-hmm. He lives in New York. This guy is just awesome. He's teaching all sort of things. He's an ex-Marine, a veteran. He had a tough life. I mean, he's just great, and he's make this school, the Natural Training Center, and he teaches to elite teams. He went to Germany, went to South America, in Brazil. So he goes to special police forces, and he teach how to do close combat, how to use all the materials you have around you to do close combat. And he also teach how to use a knife to defend, or how to use a little weapon that are not guns, although he also is a certified gun coach or trainer, I think. But this guy made it. I asked him, can you produce a good quality video or class that will make any beginner understand, if they want to use a knife to defend themselves, they need to understand what is the implication of doing so. And if they are interested to understand how this works, what are the first things they need to learn to start being comfortable using a knife for self-defense application. So he's done a step-by-step class with training move. It's not just a random video you find on YouTube. It's organized. It goes step by step, and he tell you what to use for training. You don't use a real knife to train with a partner, obviously. So this is a class that we have on our Academy site, and we're currently charging $20 for anybody who wants to join that class. And we had a lot of good comments about that class. And obviously, Helder is a great coach. He's used to teach, right? So it goes with his online class. But today, just until tonight, and just you guys will know about it, just those who are still watching, the price of the class goes from $20 to $1. I was considering making it free, but one thing I realized, and I had friends who took the class for free, and people who pay full price. And those who take the class for free, they normally don't finish the class, which is mind-boggling, but it kind of reduces the value of the thing. So I want to make it, if you're interested to join, I want you to go through the class and to actually get skilled. So that's why we're charging a $1 fee to get to that class. And it's lifetime access to this hour-long 5 modules, I believe, class. So if you're interested, we have until 12 p.m. or just until midnight tonight, Pacific time to get into it. There's a special coupon code, and so we can give you the URL and the coupon code. So I don't know if you guys can type anything on the screen on the fly, maybe not, but the URL is academy.theatomicbear.com. Academy, ACADEMY, academy.theatomicbear.com. I will leave the link into the notes if you're on Facebook, for example. But head there, you'll see just one combat knife. We have three classes. It's easy to find it. You click on that one, and when you go to enroll into the class, just add the coupon code, or the code for the word for, FOUR, capital letters, FOUR 4, and it will drop the price from $20 to $1. It worked when I tried it, so if by any chance there's a problem with that, just let us know in the comments. I will go ASAP and fix it after the show is finished, but it should work. Academy.theatomicbear.com. And when you enroll into the Knife Combat Masterclass, use the coupon. It's right in the top where you see the price. Use the coupon for FOUR, and you should be all set. There's also an introduction video. If you're not sure, you want to have so Helder is just talking about it, like a preview, a trailer video on the site, so you can make your mind if you want it or not.
Cool, man. Yeah, and good job, Ben, over here adding it to the screen on the fly. So, boom,
professionals.
That's it, man, and that's awesome, dude. So, $20 class for $1, like he was saying. Go to academy.theatomicbear.com. Type in code 4. You'll get it for $1. And if you're watching this on a replay, hopefully you got in before 12 p.m. Pacific time. You know, me and you, Jeff, we're not used to this Pacific time thing. It's either Central or Eastern with us. But, Ben, do we have a winner?
We do have a winner. And I think they even commented before the video was over because we had a lot of comments, as you can tell,
Oh yeah.
right after that. I mean, they were killing it. But the winner tonight is Blackwood Blades. I think Blackwood is from Product Pros, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So congratulations, Blackwoods. You came out with Crocodile Dundee, and you were the first one. We had a lot of Facebook, a lot of YouTube, but Blackwoods came out on top. So congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Blackwoods. Now, I tell you something about Blackwood Blades, Jeff, is he's up there in Canada with you. So, and I'm sure you might have a lot of people, but old Blackwood Blades, he knows a lot about knives and kind of a knife collector. So he'll definitely love this knife right here.
Oh, congrats, man. I'm glad for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And I'm trying to think of what else. Man, you know, there's other things that we could go through. I know this show's running a little bit too long, but again, the floating knives, guys, and, you know, I'm sure there'll be more shows where we can dive in really specifically and talk about certain things. If you've got anything you want us to talk about next week or any week after that, just let us know. Send us an email. And then other than that, Jeff, man, you got anything?
Yeah, I just want to say, guys, if you're on Facebook, just like the show, share it with your friends, with people you think would be interested by it. Like the page. We're not spamming anybody. We're just like talking about real stuff. We are obviously a real company. We're trying to rally people to make more preppers, to make the world better, to make the world stronger, and make every one of us, the good people, ready to face danger. And you know, that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're doing. That's what we're gonna do. We need your help to share this, to just get more people into that world. And like-minded people, don't get just anybody. We want people who have this mindset of being prepared, having the right tool, getting the right skills, and sharing with the world, not just like taking, but also giving back from their experience. So like if you're on YouTube, just go to our channel, like go to The Atomic Bear on YouTube and just subscribe. We're not spamming anybody. We only have great stuff there. And you'll be the first ones to know about our new products, our new offers, our new launches, because we have awesome prices on product that just come out. And you know, we want the world to know about it. So we get very hefty discounts to a limited number of people. So guys, like anything you can about us, it helps, it fuels us to get better people, better guests on the show. I'm working on it. We have 2 people lined up. The dates are not exact, but 2 people you will love. So share the show. Let's grow the show together, and let's have fun getting prepared and getting ready to survive or to sustain, to resist and to fight back all things that can be thrown at us. So that's all I had to say. Hey guys, thank you very much for being there. It's awesome doing this, and I hope you like the show, and I hope I'll see you next Thursday. What's your take, Matt?
Yeah, man. And I agree. And I was reading some of these comments in here, and guys, we stream on multiple platforms. We're streaming on 2 YouTube channels, a Twitch channel, Facebook. So what I was trying to work on today is trying to get to where there's a chat, like this chat that Ben sees. Show everybody the chat that you're looking at. You see how the chat that he's looking at, you can see people from Facebook, you can see them from YouTube, you know, the Twitch, and then his streaming. Well, I'm trying to get it to where it's on the screen to where everybody can see everybody's comments. But the way that I had it set up, it was too small, blah, blah, blah. We're going to work through the kinks, but I saw that. Also, Blackwoods, you need to email Jeff your address. And Jeff, is there a specific, just the Atomic Bear? Or Jeff?
Just show, like your usual address, show at theatomicbear.com.
Okay.
If you're not sure, go to theatomicbear.tv, and there's the email is right there. So just email us at show@theatomicbear.com. It's better than doing a direct message on Facebook. Some people do that, and it works. But I like to see the email so I don't miss it. You know, we have a lot of messages on Facebook. Sometimes there's some glitches. I don't want this to happen to you.
Yep. And guys, that's it. If you got any other questions, you know where to find us. thanks for watching. And like he was saying, you know, just watching this show live, you know, the amount of giveaways that Jeff will do is, you know, last week we gave away that huge kit. Actually had that knife in there, not even launched yet. So again, watching this a lifetime, you're going to get free offers like the code 4 tonight that saves you money. You're going to win free product. You might even learn something. You just have to listen to me and Jeff ramble. So if you can make it through that pain, there's actually some rewards at the end. But again, guys, thanks for watching, and y'all have a good weekend, and we will see you next week, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Atomic Bear Show. And guys, I will see you in the next one.